Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone's been having a good weekend. Let me get situated. Here's that rooster. Oh, I see somebody. Let me get on my chat here. Make sure live chat's on. Every time that rooster hears me talking, he starts cockadoodling. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to heat up my coffee in a minute. Somebody in the chat yet? Good morning. Southern Mom, good morning. Thank God someone typed in the chat. I always feel weird when I'm sitting here talking to myself and nobody types in the chat. Hey, Mandy, Cement Shoes. Jermaine says, good morning, little mama. I call my little Yorkie that, little mama. Hey, Boots Love. Good morning. Coffee and the rooster. Yeah, Sonny's feeling very frisky today. He's very mean to the sister wives this morning. That rooster is quite cocky. Hey, Jane. I love the sound of Sonny. Everything will be quiet as it can be out here, and as soon as I start talking, he starts cockadoodling. I swear, every time. It's no coincidence. I can also ring my little rooster bell I got over here. I got a little iron rooster bell up on my porch thing, whatever it's called, and you can ring it. Makes him cockadoodle. Oh, did you join Cement Shoes? I didn't know. Thank you for joining. Hey, Nika. Mandy, I just love your cat. There's just something about, I don't know, like black and white animals, like Annabelle, spotted. I just love spotted animals. Hey, Cheryl. Sunny Rooster. He's a stubtail rooster right now. He's molting. Pisses him off when he's molting. Hey, Lori. Good morning. There a while back, Lori, I had you totally confused with somebody else. I don't even know how I did that. I thought you were a lady that sends Sunny stuff through the mail. And I know her name. I don't know why I thought that. I get confused sometimes. Oh my gosh, guys, I just put up a video. I hadn't looked at the true crime this weekend until this morning. And three best friends went fishing. This is down in Florida. Somebody was waiting on them. This was out in the middle of nowhere. They go to this lake named Lake Streety. Someone murders all three of them. The first guy arrives, shot. The other two guys arrived together, shot, but they're beaten and shot. Yeah. I told Mark, I said, I bet you anything it's one of their wives hired somebody to do that. I mean, it could be someone else, but it is awful, Cheryl. I'm going to follow that. Hey, Lori, thank you for the super chat. It's a hot day, but grateful. Yes. Man, it has been so hot. You know, I've been enjoying laying out in the sun, playing in my sprinkler, but I'm about ready for fall time. I don't know about y'all. Lisa, it just happened over the weekend, Jean. I put up a video a few minutes ago. I reckon I uploaded it and had it as private to make sure it was going to upload right because I've been having trouble when I've been uh, trying to upload Sonny's videos on his channel. It messes my whole video up. The end of the video will be at the beginning. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, I went in and fixed it as public. I think I did. Yeah, I'm ready for the new year too, cement shoes. See, one of them didn't die. You're right, Cheryl. And he managed to call his dad and say, help. Well, his dad knew where they were going fishing at. So he rushed there. In the process of rushing to his son's aid, he left his phone at home. So after he got to the scene, um, the two of the guys was already dead. His son was still alive. And his dad had to rush to a convenience store, call 911. By the time he got back to his son's side, he had passed away. These are young guys, very young guys. Somebody had it out for them. Oh, it's so cool. At the top of the screen, it says $5 and got a little thing beside of it. Oh, it don't do that on StreamYards. I hardly ever just use regular YouTube to stream. Hey, Beach Bum. I'm feeling tired too, Beach Bum. As soon as I laid down last night, I was asleep. I slept hard too. I was tired. I still feel tired. Being out in the sun, I think, drains you. Yeah, it's down in Polk County, Gene. Polk County, Florida. Remember I told y'all there's some bad things that go on in Florida. Of course, there's bad things that go on everywhere. But if you pay attention to the ID channel, a lot of those cases that they show on those episodes happen down in Florida. Pay attention. And in the month of January. I don't know what's going on with that. I noticed that a long time ago when I was watching the ID channel. It was just Florida, 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 January, January, January. I'm like, what the crap? Oh, yeah, that was a targeted attack. Um, Someone knew they were going there. We just had something similar kind of happen like that here. The guy I know, um, he was waiting up at this graveyard. It's not went to trial yet. He was waiting up at the graveyard. He got his stepdaughter to bring this guy up there. There was another guy there too. Well, when they pulled up, that one guy come out of the woods and shot that guy dead. Yeah, shot the girl, and they ended up shooting the girl too. But where it was arranged like that, the girl lived. I thought it was going to paralyze her, but it didn't. But she's in trouble too for bringing that guy up there. I said she should be in more trouble than the rest of them because she could have backed out of that deal and not brought him up there. Hey, Mandy Hall, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know how much I appreciate that. I really do. That helps me out so much. I go through so much chicken feed. It's not funny. Mark's like, how you know that bag of feed that I posted a while back? It's not even been what, 2 weeks ago? It's already gone. I had to go get more. Yeah, I go through a lot, but Annabelle likes to eat that chicken scratch too. Because it's got the kind of buy's got like oats and stuff in it. And I've been giving it to the squirrels, but I got the squirrels something else. Because they're eating me out of house and home, y'all. Those squirrels eat a lot. I've been leaving water in the woods for the squirrels too. Yeah, I appreciate everybody that supports me. Y'all are the best. I really do got the best chat. I feel like I got the best chat. I guess every creator feels like that. I mean, everybody just gets along, and I'm going to tell you, if you're not a respectful person then this is probably not the channel for you. You know what I mean? Because we all are respectful. Everybody that chats here and comments, we don't, if we disagree with one another, we don't go at each other over it. Yeah, everybody's friendly. I love it. It's a great bunch of people. Very grateful. I mean, I even talk about y'all with Mark. I'll be like, my chat's awesome. Yes, Lori, thank you too, sweetie. Yes, of course, both of you. Oh my God, Tremaine, I'm going to kick your butt. Thank you. Gosh, that's too much, Tremaine. Here's a big 50 for your chick. And sister wise, I thought about changing my name from the professor to Playboy because I'm cool like that. Tremaine, thank you so much. I appreciate that. My gosh, you could use that on yourself, your dogs. I always feel like that when people super chat, big super chats. I always feel like, they could use that on themselves. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate everyone. You're so sweet, Tremaine. Now, Tremaine, I really like Tremaine. I would kick somebody's butt over him. I've just always liked him from when he first started showing up in my comment section. He would comment on all my videos, and I was like, this is a nice guy. So I clicked on his name one day, and I saw he had turtles. And I was like, that's my kind of people. So I invited him to come to the live chat. He's very sweet. He's a good guy. Got a big heart. Oh, Lori, thank you. Thank you. Guys, I didn't say that because I want y'all to super chat me. Don't feel like that, but thank you. Thank you. I was just saying, talking in general, my YouTube money really helped me out this month, guys. Really did. I was getting really low on money, which I haven't got it yet, but I will like on the 22nd. But it's going to really help me out. Yeah, we would kick ass over Tremaine. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. I appreciate everybody. Y'all are awesome. Oh, thank you, Lori. I'm so glad to see you back around, Lori. Now I figured out who you was. I saw your email when I was going through my old emails, deleting some a while back, and I was like, oh man, I cannot believe I confused her with this lady named Pam that sends Sunny stuff. I won't say no more than that, but yeah, I won't say her last name, but I had you confused. Yeah, cement shoes. I feel like I know everybody pretty good, especially the people that's always in here chatting. Oh, did you save a turtle this morning? Was it a turtle or a tortoise? Y'all know for a long time I didn't know the difference between a turtle and a tortoise. Turtles get in the water, aquatic. Tortoises are on the land. Gosh, I'm so dense sometimes. Now, Tremaine's got a big old turtle. I think it's a red ear slide. I'm not sure. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. But it is huge. He's took good care of it. I've been meaning to ask him, and I keep forgetting if he raised it from a baby. Think it's a box turtle? I would love to have a box turtle, but not one from the wild. From a breeder or something. I wanted some red ear sliders, but um, they're little when you get them, but they need a good sized tank so they can grow and be healthy. A lot of people get them, put them in those little small aquariums. You can't do that. I didn't know either, Lisa, for a while. No, I bought it from PetSmart. Was it little though when you bought it? Boo, you been missing lives? Well, that's all right, Boo's love. I get it. I get it. People's got real lives. Let me let Ladybug out. Come on. Come on. Ladybug thinks she's in charge. She's got to be wherever I am. She cracks me up. She won't let me home. She's so possessive. I had a turtle for 3 days when I was little. He looked miserable, so I made my parents take him back home to the lake. He looked happy and swam away. Yeah, Mark told me one day, he's like, just get you a box turtle from the woods. I said, no, absolutely not. I would never take anything from the wild and put it in a cage, as I like to say. No. He was little. You took good care of him. You just can't give them like pellets to eat. They need vegetables too. I watched care videos on red ear sliders and tortoises. I love to have one of those big tortoises. Were they called cicadas? Y'all know that YouTube channel? My neighbor Billy. It used to be my redneck neighbor Billy. She's got a big turtle or tortoise, big tortoise. It digs big holes in her yard, like little caves, little dens, I guess. I think it's called burrowing. Oh, I watched that guy too. I want to go visit his place. How's it you pronounce that? Keenan? Kenan? Hey, he's a cute guy, Jane. You know I'm watching the cuties. Someone else I watch is, gosh, what's his name? Noah Tyland? I think that's his name. Maybe it's Noah Tyler. I don't know. He was on Ink Master, but he's got a pet channel with all of his reptiles and stuff. I just like to watch him because of his bird. His bird looks like it's been tie-dye. It's a parrot. Jerry the turtle ate all the fish I had in my tank, so I stopped by a fish. Yeah, they like little fish. You can feed them goldfish, can't you? That's a mistake a lot of people make when they buy those turtles. They think they can just give them pellets, and you can't. They have to have light too, don't they, Tremaine? They got to have like a what's that called? Like a bulb with for artificial sun. I can't think of the name. UVB bulb or something like that. If they don't have one of those lights like that, their shells will turn up. Yeah. Morning, Shine On. You want a skink, a blue tongue skink? I had green anoles lizards. They was mean as hell. One time I picked one up by its tail because it bit my finger and I grabbed it by its tail and it dropped its tail. They can drop their tail. And then I had Ragnar, the bearded dragon, and he sadly passed away. He was like sick like when I got him. He wasn't very one of the dominant dragons. You never want to buy a bearded dragon that's up at the glass. You know, they're cute. They look like they're waving at you. You want to buy one that's up there next to the heat light. The one closest to the heat light. That means they're strong. They're more dominant. I'm going to get another beardy. I've got a huge tank my hermit crabs are in. Jerry ate my goldfish. He has ate two of my catfishes. He ate my Oscar. Oh, wow. He is huge. Jerry is huge. I'm glad to know his name now. I'll be able to remember that because Tom and Jerry. Yeah. What do you buy? Do you buy him like bait fish, like minnows? Buy him some minnows. Sure you do. I also want Halloween moon crabs. Oh, those are so cool. Now, I love my Hermes, but when I first got into hermit crabs, I hadn't properly researched. Hermit crabs are taken from the wild. They're they're really amazing creatures, and people don't know it. They're very important to the ecosystem. They are the you know the garbage people. They clean up all the garbage that's left. They're scavengers. But hermit crabs can breed in captivity, but it's very hard to hatch hermit crab babies because land hermit crabs lay their eggs in the ocean. It's hard to simulate that. It has been done, I think, maybe once or twice, but it's like a expensive thing to set all that up. Jerry needs an ankle bracelet that alarms when he goes near the other pets. Yeah. I want one of those. Gosh, let me see if I can pronounce the name. Axolots or something like that. But they are the cutest salamander ever. I could not pronounce their names right. Yeah, Jane. Well, this one person done it, but it was like they kind of made their own ocean in a pool with salt water, but it was like an expensive process. Hermit crabs belong in the wild. If you go to the Bahamas and you touch a hermit crab, you can be fined $40,000. They are protected. Good reason. People was collecting them, selling them. Um, their population was getting real low. I like hermit crabs a lot. I'm going to Puerto Rico to see some of the hermit crabs in the wild one day. I mean, they have hermit crabs in Florida, but I want to go to Puerto Rico. Probably be hard to see hermit crabs in Florida because they live in like the mangroves. Hey, Lot Feather. Morning. How was your weekend? I did do some cleaning yesterday in my kitchen. That's about all I've done this weekend. Lay out in the sun. Oh yeah, I've been reading my book Beach Bum sent me. If Loving You Is Wrong, Mary Kay Torno. And I'm about done with it. Almost done. I don't know how many chapters I got left. Maybe 10, maybe. My mind is blown. I was reading it this morning. I put it down. I was just so pissed off about it. Look, very interesting. It goes through her whole life, right? Well, I'm at the part where she's just been, she's in jail waiting sentencing, right? First time around. And most of the women in this town are on this woman's side. And I'm like, what the crap? Only the men in the community was calling her a child molester. There was like maybe one woman so far in the book I've seen that was like not on board with it. But Mary Kay was a sick woman. If you read this book, her mind, she didn't even live in reality. She taught Billy in second grade and sixth grade. When she taught him in second grade, she was bragging on him too. Oh, he's a great artist. He's a great artist. You know, I just compared Bailey to my son. He's the same age, and it just infuriates me. I would have killed her if she had been with my son, done anything to him. I mean, it's just mind blowing that these women was all like on her side. Cougar Town. Sitting on the porch drinking coffee, Jane. Yeah, it's very odd. Um, one of the women in the book, I'd have to go back and look at her name. Um, her and her husband had an argument about it, and her husband's like, she is a child molester, she is a pedophile. And the wife's like, no, she's not. It's a strange story, but they're in love, basically. And I'm like, what in the hell? This is this is a child, 13-year-old. But see, then I read in the book that, Bailey's uncle, it was known that when he was underage, he was sleeping with an older woman. So I guess that made quite an impression on Bailey, and I guess he thought it was okay. Now you think back to when you was 13 years old. How mature were you? I mean, when we're 13, we think we're really, really mature. But now, thinking back on it, hell no. It's just a child. It's like my son, he's just like so innocent, He's still he's mature in some ways, when we're having a conversation or whatever. But he's still a kid, childlike. Of course. It's so wrong. It disgusted me. Now, the two twin girls that used to babysit for Mary Kay, they were like 13 when this was going on. And they said, all these years later, when they think back on it, it was just so wrong. But at the time, those girls was just 13. They thought it was like some great romance. Mary Kay and planned to get pregnant by that 13-year-old boy. It's sick. I wonder I mean, she's passed away. I hate that for her children. But the truth, she was a pedophile. Anybody that could be sexually attracted to someone 13 years old, a kid, is a sick pedophile. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. She would sneak him to her house. This is before her sentencing. She would sneak him to the house. One of the reporters, a local reporter, actually stopped by, see Mary Kay, and talked to her. And in one of the rooms, the reporter didn't know it, but in one of the rooms, she had Bailey hidden. Mary Kay put on to everybody that she was just perfect, always neatly dressed. Her kids looked like, they just walked out of a J.C. Penney catalog or something. And inside her house was filth. Clothes strode from the living room to the bedrooms piled up. Boxes everywhere. Dust everywhere. But when they walked out of that house, they looked perfect. Not a hair out of place. It's kind of like the Golden State Killer. The outside of his house was immaculate, his yard, but the inside of it, he was a hoarder. Yeah, there's a lot of things in this book that I didn't know. Now, I had read a book about Mary Kay years ago, like when I was like really, really young. Um, and I'm not sure this is the same book. I thought it was when Beach Bum sent me, pictures of it before she ordered it, but I don't think so. I think this is a different one, but that's okay because this one was very, very informative. I mean, you learn everything about her parents. Her daddy was a big senator. They were Catholics, portrayed the perfect family. Really, they showed their kids no love. He had an affair, had illegitimate kids with this just basically a tramp, as they would call it back in those days. She wasn't a very nice person, this lady, his mistress. My ex was a hoarder. Outside was great. His house was disgusting. Yeah, that's the way the Golden State Killer was and Mary Kay. She broke the family. They had no money. They was always asking Steve's grandmother, Nadine, for money. And this lady didn't have much money. She lived in a trailer park, so but she would loan it to him. Steve's mother, she was a firecracker, or grandmother. I like her in the book. Her, you know, she sounds like my granny actually. She said Mary Kay never fooled her. Yeah, Southern Mom, great idea. Tremaine should be Big Daddy. I'll be right back, guys. I'll go get some coffee. Mine's cold. I'm gonna leave y'all with Ladybug. She's laying here. Okay, sorry about that. Hey, Shook. Good morning. Yes, I do think they treated her differently than a man that went after a young child. Now, let's just imagine for a minute this was a 30-some-year-old male teacher that impregnated a 13-year-old girl. The mothers in that community would have been outraged. It just bum puzzles me. All the women basically supported Mary Kay, and the men were calling her a child molester, pedophile. What's even more sick is Mary Kay planned with Veely to get pregnant. I mean, she took this boy's childhood, a lot of his adulthood, his teenage years. There were some in it that some women that said, oh, he never was normal like our boys. Like, I guess he just had more street smarts and was maybe a little bit more mature than the normal 11 and 12-year olds. I don't know. I thought that was a stupid remark. Some boys at that age are, just starting to get into girls and getting crushes and stuff. And Mary Kay totally took advantage of it. She's a sex predator. What's even more sick, guess what? Her son actually saw her in bed with this kid. Steve was at work. He worked for Alaska Airlines, the luggage, the baggage. Yes. And Mary Claire, Mary Kay's little girl, saw Mary Kay and Veely in the shower together. Well, she was a wonderful mother back then. I mean, she hurt her kids bad. She really did. She didn't care. She didn't want to do like to avoid jail time. They got like this program in Washington State where you can do this program. It's hard to complete, but it includes therapy and a bunch of other stuff. She didn't want to do that. And she was actually looking up mental illnesses, and she came across manic depression. And I have manic depression. It's depression with mania. Okay. She was looking for a doctor to diagnose her with that. Looking for a doctor. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you something. Her classroom was the same way as her house. She was a hoarder in her classroom, too. You have got to read it. Now, at first, when I first started reading it like Feather, I was like, oh my gosh, let's get to the good parts. But then after I started learning about her family, it got really interesting because you get to learn about her parents, their marriage, the children they had. You get to learn a lot about her childhood. Mary Kay was quite promiscuous as a teenager. She grew up in Southern California. You know the way her husband busted her having an affair with this little child? She left out her journal. This woman had the mind of a 13-year-old girl. She'd go around and write Mary Kay and Veely, just stupid little stuff. She even gave this kid a wedding band with an inscription, I will always be there, and oh, happy day, or something like that on it. She's a complete idiot. Yes, yes, it's kind of slow at first and then it takes off. Yeah, because you get to learn about her daddy's affair and everything, which I had no idea about. And her little brother drowned in the pool. Philip, he was 3 years old. Mary Kay was at the other end of the pool playing with another sibling. Mary Kay was allegedly supposed to have been watching this child. Okay, so Philip drowns, he dies. She says nobody ever blamed her. And she said none of that had an effect on her. Oh, she said she was molested as a child. So her brother died in the pool, drowning. Her, across the pool from him, and being molested as a child did not bother her. It did not have any effect on her, she said. The woman was delusional. So her daddy had an affair with someone that worked on his campaign. And this was not a woman with a lot of class. They probably would have called her a tramp back in the day. She didn't have a lot of class. She was mean spirited. She actually tied a hair around her little boy's private parts so tight that it done some damage to his private area. Um, and that's how the affair was discovered. She took him to the doctor. The doctors saw that the hair was tied in a knot. It had been put there. So they started digging and wanted to know who the kid belonged to. And it turns out he belonged to Senator Schmitz, Mary Kay's father, who had been married for years. Yeah, he refused to help his children that he had by his mistress. I think finally she got some money out of him, like $200 a month. Yeah, and Mary Kay's mother wouldn't let Mary Kay and her siblings have anything to do with their half siblings. This lady had like two babies by Mary Kay's dad. He was I think a senator at the time. She is disgusting, and when I read the part in the book about one of the little twins that babysat for, recalling Mary Kay bragging on Veely being a great artist when she taught him in second grade, I was like, she already had him picked out when he was in second grade. She thought that she did nothing wrong. They were meant to be together. They were Romeo and Juliet. She was a sick, sick woman. I'm not sure if she was what she was ever diagnosed with. I think they did. One doctor diagnosed her as uh, with manic depression. But like I said, she was looking for a doctor to diagnose her with that. So, did she really have it? Hey, Baber, sorry I missed your stream the other day. I was outside. The time I got in and went to, it was over. I was like, oh crap. Well, it's Greg Olson, Never Lose Hope. If loving you is wrong. He did a good job writing it. There's a few typos in the book, but that was just from, I guess, the ever who printed it. Well, it made me feel bad I missed it. Well, that's what one of the other teachers that taught with her wondered if there was any other victims. See, the women in the community looked at this like he was her only victim, and it was just, I don't even know how to describe the way they were thinking. Um, it was just a rare thing that happened, and maybe they were really in love. A lot of the women thought that it was all right because Veely was a 13-year-old a boy, and don't every teenage boy dream of being with an older woman? That was their way of thinking. It really pissed me off this morning. I had to put down the book. I had read it for so many chapters, these people taking up for her, and I just had to put it down, but I can't wait to read some more. Hey, Lucy Love. Bad edit. No, it's okay, but it was only like a couple words. Maybe like four or five. It's from the printer. It's not the author. It's a good book. Yeah, it's sick. It made me sick the way they're defending this woman. Oh, she's so fragile. She's so frail. That woman planned to have a baby with him. They planned it out. This kid was staying all night with her. One time, Mary Kay is supposed to be working on a play, a musical with the other teachers. She says, "Oh, I've got to go. I'll be back." Mary Kay was never on time for work, by the way. It irritated some of the other teachers because she never got reprimanded for it. She says, "Oh, I'll be back. Bailey needs me." And one of the teachers is like, "Right now?" And, Mary Kay being all self righteous and stuff, she said that her teaching goes beyond the classroom. Boy, did it. Anyways, they said that she left. She was gone about an hour. They weren't sure her van ever left the parking lot. And when she come back in, she smelled like sex. So there was like a musky smell. Yeah. I went through this with my 15-year-old and a 28-year-old, and the police would do nothing about it. There's nothing. She's in prison now for child abuse. My brother carried on an affair when he was about 15 years old with a woman in her late 20s. Mm-hmm. Sure did. My mom didn't know. It's disgusting. Yes. Totally disgusting. And for these women in that community to defend her and make excuses for her just because they knew Mary Kay, they didn't really know Mary Kay. They knew the Mary Kay that was out in public. They didn't know the Mary Kay behind closed doors in her nasty, filthy, hoarded house. Steve's family said it was so weird. There wouldn't be a hair out of place. The kids looked like they just walked out of a catalog. Didn't have a speck of dirt on their shoes, but their house was filthy on the inside. There was even rats living in there. They had little kids, and they had ripped up the carpet. And you know, when you rip up carpet, the little piece of wood that's got little tacks sticking up. Someone asked Mary Kay, "Aren't you afraid the kids will step on that?" Oh no. After they step on it once, they learn to go around it. That was her way of thinking. Instead of just taking like an hour or two and ripping up those tacks so the kids wouldn't get hurt, they had planned on redoing the flooring and stuff, but didn't follow through with it. Sex, Lies, and Murder sounds like my kind of TV show. Tremaine, didn't you say it was something about the movie To Die For the other day? I just watched Pam Smart on TV this morning on the ID channel. And Eileen Wuornos. Oh no, I just ripped those up so my kitty wouldn't step on them. Yeah, they were too lazy to. This is scary. My son is 15. Yeah, it happens every day. You know, she was a teacher, position of authority. She's a predator. She had him picked out. That one little passage in the book, when I read it, it just clicked in my brain. I was like, people could say what they want to, but she had this kid picked out from the second grade. You tell me how a second grade can be this great artist. I mean, the way she went on about Veely, you would have thought she was talking about someone in their 20s. He was a great artist. He had an old soul, wise beyond his years, all this and that. If you didn't know who she was talking about, you would have thought she was talking about a grown man, a young man. Y'all got to read this book. I'm glad I did. I'm going to get me another book. It's been keeping me offline. I spend my evenings in the recliner reading. Yesterday I laid out in the sun and I was laying there on my belly, getting some sun on my back, and I was reading away. Lisa, if you want to gain weight, start drinking soda. Drink Mountain Dew. Pamela Smart and Billy Flynn. Yeah. Billy's out of prison, right? I think Billy and the other guys, yeah. I love audiobooks. Yeah. You know what? I like the real book. I want the book in my hand. I don't know why, but I'm just like that. I'm old school, I guess. Reading an interesting book is like watching a movie to me. It's the only way I can describe it. When I start reading something that's really interesting, I can't stop. I get addicted to it. I'm going to get me another book after this. Another true crime book. May get a book about Bundy or something. I don't know. Maybe not. I know a lot about Bundy anyways. Oh my God, Cheryl, really? A woman got caught at home with a student, very devastating to her family. Lots of news media. Yeah, yeah. Pisses me off about Mary Kay. She really thought she done nothing wrong. I mean, till the day she died, she thought she done nothing wrong. She said she was not like the other people. She wasn't like those other pedophiles and perverts. Really? I mean, her kids that she taught in room 39 at Shorewood Elementary were like a cult. When Mary Kay was arrested and let out of that school, the substitutes that came in after that had a hard time with her classroom. Kids didn't want them there. They wanted Mary Kay back because Mary Kay let the kids do what she wanted to. The kids were so far behind, they hadn't done um, really any schoolwork that year. So they didn't like it when someone came in that actually made them do some work and not goof off. The other teachers had complained about Mary Kay for a long time. She'd show up late for work. And everybody'd say, oh, that's just Mary Kay. She got special treatment. She would disturb the other classrooms because her classroom was so loud, blasting music. Nothing ever got done to her. Oh, that's just Mary Kay. Other teachers had noticed there was an inappropriate relationship and did nothing. Yeah, her name is Brenda Ballagorgan. Ballad Ballargen? Is that how you say it? Yeah, there's no excuse. Yeah, she drank her own Kool-Aid. This woman lived in some kind of fantasy land. But I got a few more chapters. Well, quite a few left. Not that many, though. I'm going to finish it and see what else I can find out. Because Ballergen, I'll have to look that up. Read up about her. Yeah, well, it was reported that a male teacher walked up to Mary Kay and told her that her relationship with Billy was inappropriate because she was slow dancing with him. Yeah. Now, the school board said they hadn't had any reports on her, but there had been teachers that complained about her to the principal. Well, guys, I think I'm going to get off here and go make some breakfast. Get Timothy woke up and motivated. I think they just grew apart. Now, this book was written a long time ago. Several years back. I'll have to go look in the 2000s, early 2000s, I believe. So it probably won't say nothing about it unless they've updated it. Doubt that. I think they just grew apart. I think he realized once he got older and had kids and they got around that age, he realized it was wrong. I think he's just tired of being with her and wanted his freedom. He wanted to live his life without her. Just think, he's been tied up with her since he was 13 years old. He probably stayed with her because of the kids for so long till he just couldn't do it anymore. But they said he was by her side when she died. He took care of her in the last few months of her life. Yeah. Now, the girls they have together are beautiful. They really are beautiful. But anyways, y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all in the morning. Thanks for all the super chats this morning. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you to everybody that supports me. Y'all be kind. Peace.